Henning Pauli here. Today, something a little bit different. So, I got a guitar channel, loads of videos, and usually gear, but I also have quite a few lesson packs on drum programming and guitar stuff and theory and whatever, songwriting, 52-hour songwriting course. I got contacted by Truefire. And they asked me to do the thing that they do most often, which is, can you do an ad block? And if you don't know what that is, that usually means I make a video about whatever, one of my rants where I bitch about the music industry or whatever, or AI or whatever. And then I say, this is sponsored by Truefire. And then for 30 seconds, I say why Truefire is great. And then I got paid for a video that usually wouldn't be paid. And we move on, and you probably didn't give a rat's ass. The problem is I don't like doing ad blocks. Because I think it's not fair to the company because they don't do much because you don't want to see the damn ad. You want to see the thing that the video is about. And also, they don't really tell you negatives and positives in my point of view. And I haven't really evaluated the product. I just took the company's money and ran and pushed you on something that I didn't even check out. I'm not really into that. Now, if they offer a lot of money, I could be... No. I don't do that. I said I would rather do a full review and check out your website, see if I can learn something. I'm extremely particular when it comes to certain things like theory, how you illustrate things, how you show certain topics. When it comes to technique, are you actually talking about picking direction? Is the picking direction correct? Because when you're learning, there should be a correct version. Later on, break all the rules, but you got to learn the rules to break them. Picasso. I said, I'd rather review you and get paid for that. And they're like, okay, yeah, we prefer that. I'm like, okay, I'll be picky. They're like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I can't look at all the courses, right? I looked at a bunch and we will do some of it together. But I said, the one thing that I kind of need to learn really is some Van Halen shit. Because I don't know any riffs or licks or whatever. None of it. I tried to play Ain't Talking About Love and I played wrong every single time because I never learned it. I heard it somewhere and I tried to put it together, but it's bad. They have a course where you can learn 4 Van Halen songs. So I spent the better part of the day going through that whole course. And it's actually pretty damn cool. Because guy shows you the whole song, then shows you in a couple of lessons the easy version if you don't have the skills yet. So it's a reduced version. That's cool. Then he shows you all the details and he does exactly what I want a course to be. He sometimes says, oh, he's doing the major chord. He's going to a sus and he's actually telling you what the notes are. He's saying, oh, here's a sharp 11. I want to know what Eddie did, not just learn the damn song. What's the point in learning a Van Halen song if you don't walk away with the knowledge that you can use in your own music? We don't all just want to play like Van Halen. We want to get what the core of Van Halen's harmonics and the style was and use that for our own shit. At least I do. And he did that. And then he goes into all the minute details where Eddie played the string wrong or whatever, and then he says, but I'm showing you that that's what he did, but don't really learn that. Learn as much as you want to have fun with the song. It's exactly how music should be taught. That, and I can only speak for that course, was pretty damn great. So I looked at that and another course, and we're going to look at it in a second, but I have this guitar. And I have a Friedman Arredondo amp, which is, a Jose modded Plexi. I don't have I have a script phaser over in the studio, but I didn't get that. Just cranked up the amp, went into an aux with a bit of delay, and had pretty good fun for most of the afternoon. Do I now know more riffs? Yeah, I actually finally know this thing. Or something like that, and then Yeah, that guitar is not. And he does go into that, the guitar that he's using this guitar, and he does go into Eddie actually playing a half step lower, and he shows it that way, so you can actually play along with the songs correctly. And what's the other? I don't really know Van Halen songs. And they actually shows like the tapping. It's pretty cool. Whatever, and all the things, and then I don't know what the other one was. I learned enough so that now when I'm reviewing an Eddie style guitar or amp or looking at Tonex sounds that are Eddie-ish, that I actually can play enough riffs, and that in a relatively short amount of time with good guidance, either easy or difficult, but good guidance without telling me you have to play it in this minute super detail. I liked it. So let me show you some Truefire stuff. So we're here in Truefire. Cyber Monday, go away. They gave me a trial subscription, whatever. You can buy every course individually, and they're very fairly priced, like, you know, $20, $30, $15, $9.99, whatever. Pretty damn fairly priced. And you can also do a subscription for the whole year, which is given the fact how much shit they have, it's pretty fair. Now here I'm looking at Triad, and I did that because I just did my own course. Die 1 auf den nächstmöglichen Akkordton, was in dem Fall die Terz wäre, und baue den dann neu. Das könnte man machen. Klingt nicht wie ein Major 7. On a similar topic, and I wanted to see how this Ariel Posen, I know who he is teaching it. And so you can see, let me see, that they have a lot of different angles, which is very important. Do we need all those at the same time? Okay, right hand, left hand. I mean, it looks like they're doing whatever is relevant. And we have tabs underneath the whole video. Anything he plays. So even if he's talking, you know, it says introduction here.
The voicings and the fingering. Voicings. Let's do it.
The tab plays along, or the notes play along the whole time, right? Then you could look on the fretboard, which here is probably not a bad idea. Not the worst idea, right? You could look at it on a piano roll. And you could actually have a metronome running along with it. So that's pretty good. This whole, let's follow along on the fretboard. So I don't know how much that makes sense when you have something like this, because so you can see the whole follow along on the fretboard is a really cool feature, but pretty pointless when it comes to solo stuff. For chords, actually probably not the worst idea. Ah, that's a zoom level. Ah, it's a zoom level for the notes. Very nice. You can transpose it. This is pretty damn cool, I gotta say. A lot of money behind this. Not every lesson platform can do that. Okay, let's go into some positives and negatives. Before we go to the Van Halen thing, I'll show you that. First of all, the blocks, the actual lessons, they're usually very short. Here, actually, the breakdown is long. They're long lessons. But I kind of feel that all of it could be condensed into one and then have chapter marks. because within this, there are no chapter marks. So the chapter marks are really individual videos. On some of it, I watched it and I was like, okay, after 30 seconds, it goes to the next lesson. Intro again. After like 2 minutes, it goes to the next lesson. After so and so many minutes, it goes to like when I do lessons, they're an hour long. And we'll place chapter marks, right? It's just a choice. The choice of we sit in a nondescript studio in front of a green screen and we put a white background there. It's a look, but I kind of feel it would be much nicer if they were actually in a room, in a studio, in a nice living room, put an amp behind him, give it some flair. You could very easily have the same quality of video, actually higher quality of video with some nice depth. I personally prefer that over this clean look. Does it have anything to do with the quality of the instruction? No, that's just my personal feeling, okay? Next, this mic in the face. I hate nothing more than that. On some of the lessons, they don't have that. They have lav mics. But that thing in the face, to me, is like the guy is on a teleshopping network and wants to sell me the thing that you put in the milk to carton container, or buy this cubic zirconia ring from us. It's like a salesman thing. It puts, for me, a huge wall between me and the instructor because I know the instructor is talking into a mic. I would like the microphone. That's just me. That's why in my videos, you rarely see a lav mic and you definitely don't see something in my face. I would like the microphones to be invisible. They have a killer studio. Why don't they use a good shotgun? Okay, that's just a thing. So, when I typed in Van Halen, there's the jam play version. I don't know the difference between jam play and Truefire. Not quite sure. This wasn't bad. I can, by the way, for right now for $10 download the whole thing. But since I'm subscribed, I can't. I mean, I could and pay for it. Everything's 1080. Where's the 4K shit? I mean, do we need it? No. But hey, would be nice. Here, I had some issues, not with the instruction. The instruction I liked. Very simple. Definitely for the more beginner, or he's saying intermediate. It's not actual Van Halen stuff, but in the style of Van Halen, which is cool. Very reduced in complexity.
Hi, this is Andy with jamplay.com. Welcome to my course where we're going to take a look at playing in the style of Eddie Van Halen.
Audio is massively compressed. The guitar sound is ghastly.
When I first started listening to Eddie Van Halen, it was a big mystery.
Now on this intro, why in the world is the music playing? It's annoying. Why do they go to all the different angles of his face from the side and he's not looking into the camera?
As to how he got the sound that he did. There's a lot of techniques, a lot of fast playing.
What is this?
A lot of
why?
variety in his playing, so it was really hard to...
Look, as someone who owns 50 cameras, I want to show off my cameras, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They're like, oh, we've got the camera from the side, so we're going to use it. I've done this. A lot. I know the motivation, Truefire people or jam play people. I know the motivation. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. That music in the background is massively annoying for the intro. Now, the fact that he's playing an Ibanez and showing Eddie stuff, I couldn't give less of a crap, right? So we're going to go here and show you a quick lesson.
Lesson we looked at playing open position power chords.
Now, okay, gotta say, he has a lav mic and not a mic in the face. I appreciate that. It's not the white background. It's still a nondescript background. All good. The guitar sounds ghastly. But again, that's not what you're paying for. I'm just pointing out some stuff I don't like, right? Talking about the guy says a lot. They didn't really edit that out. I will try to edit that out if I do a course. As much as possible. Leave some of it in to make it human. In his case, it's a bit much.
Note, followed by another one.
I do like the sound of his voice. Too much or too many times. Where is it? Let's go to a different here. They have the mic in the room, so his mic open when we hear guitar sounds. And I am not a fan of that. When the guitar sounds, it should be the guitar sound without the room. a teacher should be able, for most of what they do, to talk, play, and not talk over the playing, because then the mic is open and we hear the guitar in the room, and that's usually a shitty sound. Does it matter for the quality of the instruction? Absolutely not. But am I picky about how to do a course? Absolutely, because I've done them. And I know what I want to see, right? So the instructor view, cool. The student view, cool. Does it need to say student view, instructor view? Does it need to say jam play here? It's a very nice composition. It's a bit much.
Just slid up the neck.
So we don't need to hear the plank, plank, plank. But again, none of that has anything to do with the quality of the instruction, which is fine. I think in this lesson pack, he's doing some stuff where I wish he was explaining his picking direction, where he was explaining what the chords are doing, and actually doing some of the picking direction more accurately. He's showing you some techniques that gets you Van Halen stuff. It could be a little bit more instructory in terms of, now I play this chord. Van Halen liked to do sus chords. Some background so that you can apply it to what you're doing. It's in no way a bad course. I would have improved some things here or there. Absolutely not bad in any way. I'm just very picky. So, but Play Like Van Halen is what I did. It's on sale right now. That doesn't tell us anything. $10 for the download, 50% off. Even for $20, that's nothing. So you go to play. It tracks your progress. So if I go to this, it should say progress. Mark. You can mark it. You can write some notes for yourself.
Hey, this is Chris Walno, and I'm going to show you how to play Ain't Talking About Love from Van Halen.
Now, hate the thing in his face. Why is he selling me cubic zirconia? However, voice audio, great. There's no room tone. There's no noise. It's beautifully processed. The white background could be in a dirty practice room looking at the guitar and stuff like this. It's a bit clinical, but again, we've pointed that out. Of course, you can make it big. You can change the speed. You can make it slower, which is absolutely...
Halen from their debut album. This is a simple tune. It's right up there with iconic simple riffs such as Crazy Train and Iron Man, Smoke on the Water and stuff.
So if some of the examples are too fast, which they're not, you can fix that. He explains things extremely well. So he's showing the whole performance, right? Whole song. And in that first performance, they switch between the actual part and the easy part, so you know what's coming. And then there are the easy lessons. In this case, an easy lesson, 7 minutes. Just these little snippets, make them longer.
Ain't Talking About Love.
Make the whole full easy lesson, I think. And then with chapter marks, I don't know, it's just a different way of doing it. The benefit of doing it the way that they're doing it is they can claim, we have 60 lessons. Okay? I have an 8-hour course and it's 15 lessons. But they are long. So, just a different approach. Theirs results in more lessons for the money, even though they might be 3 minutes long. They're doing a good job here.
And there's that bar I was talking about. So I'm playing the first 2 notes out of A minor.
And I really like that oftentimes he's saying, this is what Eddie did, but you don't have to do that. So we go to, let's go to something else here. Sitar part. He's doing the solos, doing everything. Dance the night away, practice here. Let's go first one. Talks about the sound a bit, which is great. And you can see, you can follow along down here. Absolutely nicely done. So I can look at the tab as he's playing.
Doing different variations of that throughout the whole tune. So for instance, the song comes in with...
We don't just have tab, we have notes. We have chord symbols on top of here, which is absolutely relevant if you actually want to walk away with knowledge and not just have learned a Van Halen song. You can, again...
doing different variations of that throughout.
Look at the tab.
So for instance,
the
song
fretboard.
Comes in with...
Don't know how relevant that is, but it's cool that it's there. You can loop a section if you wanted to. How cool is that? This is so cool. We can hear that his mic is open. So they have a great sound. It might be a modeler, might be an actual amp. It's actually very, very close, way better than the other lesson was. But we can hear that they didn't edit his mic out when he's playing. I spent a lot of time editing the mic out when the guitar's playing and I'm not talking. So does that make a bad lesson? No. I'm just picky, okay? And I gotta be picky for you if I'm evaluating shit. And by the way, Truefire people, RX11 dialogue isolate, you run that, and the only thing left on the voice track is the voice. It's a killer plugin. It'll literally do it in one pass. You don't even have to do editing. But the point is, everything you need to learn that song, you don't really know what he's doing with the fingers, it's down here. You walk away with the knowledge of that Eddie used a lot of sus chords. You can have the metronome on. I gotta say, this is a very impressive package. What they show you. Why do I have 0 course progress? Because I didn't mark it myself. Completed. Haha. You gotta mark it yourself. It doesn't track that you're watching. What it does track is if you're watching it, it writes you an email saying, oh, you've watched a couple of things. Do you want to buy more? Nah. You know, that's what they do. But I went through this whole thing, skipped the last song, and I learned something. Pretty damn cool. And I'm now motivated to, write some stuff in that style. What do they have? Everything. So if I go to most popular, first of all, very happy to see that a theory for guitarists is one of the most popular. I looked at that. It's actually good. And here's John Mayer. Let's see. The jam play stuff doesn't have white background, so I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know the difference. Maybe that's like in the style of. See what this guy has got to say.
A real percussive quality to it. So what we're going to do is look at just a short little example.
Okay. No shit in his face. That's good. Voice is a bit in the background, but that's okay.
Of something that you could play in just the way that he does this, and then we'll dissect it.
It's pretty pixelated quality there. I don't know why they have to do everything with green screen.
Just a little bit. So a little groove that we could play that would have some percussion to it would look like this.
And the jam play people don't seem to want to be too true to the actual thing. In the style of John Mayer, plays a Les Paul. And again, the mic is not gone. Yeah, the jam play stuff doesn't seem to be on the level of the other stuff. So what else do we have? There is, if we go to, Truefire, let's do this again. There's there's thousands of courses. I don't know the difference between master classes and whatever. Steve Vai, Robin Ford. They got many, many, many big names. And you know what? Sometimes the big name, it's not the best to teach you. Sometimes the big name doesn't even know what they're doing. Steve Vai knows what they're doing. But sometimes the big name is not good at distilling what makes them who they are. They are killer players, but sometimes they can't really teach you what they do. So it's a good idea for someone else to teach you what the big names do. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen it. Not necessarily here, but I have seen it. But there is so much stuff. And honestly, holy crap, they've got so much stuff. The Cyber Monday 70-something, All Access Plus, 75% off. That's the yearly access. Is that what I have? I think so. I have All Access. You could spend honestly, I mean, guitar lessons are like 60 to 80, $100 a month. One of my courses is going to run you $150 for one course. It's true. Here you get them for $150 for Black Friday deal for All Access Plus for everything. That's pretty ridiculous. So bang for the buck. Yes, Truefire delivers. I learned something. Everything I checked out, the quality of the instruction is absolutely there. Would I like to see some things slightly differently as a content creator? Yeah. But I'm a picky motherfucker. And you shouldn't pay any attention to any of the critique I said because it really doesn't matter. So if you want to learn guitar, Truefire, honestly, is a good idea. That's what I learned. That's what this video was about. Am I saying that because they're paying me for this video? No. I spent the afternoon learning something, and I learned something. And what I learned, was it worth $150? No, I got the whole, I mean, that was worth $30. Easily. But it's actually cheaper than that. So, I'm fine with that. Had I spent $30 on it, totally fine. Spending $150 and having 1 year to go through it and get some, mayor licks, learn from, I was going to say Torsten Abasi, but his name is Ariel Poulsen. Torsten's on year 2, I think. Is he?
So this particular chord.
Oh, that's an older one. Holy crap, he's still playing in Ibanez. Point is, if you want to learn something, it's not a bad place to learn things. Honestly. That's it. I'm out. I'll put the link below. Use it. Or don't, if you already know everything. I've been doing this for 35 years and I learned something today. Maybe you can learn something today. Animals at the end.
To last, this too shall pass. Now you're left without a thing. But once you're freed from all possessions, you're feeling richer than a king. Feel you found the right direction. And when all the stars align, better take that as a sign. Remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass. There ain't no summer without rain. There ain't no fall without the gain.